Women weren't always allowed to vote. There are a lot of people we can thank for allowing the 19th Amendment to get ratified. I'm Naya, and I'll be talking about some of the women who participated during the 19th Amendment. The 19th Amendment gives women the right to vote. If it was not for the 19th Amendment, women today wouldn't be voting. This was a huge victory for women because it took them nearly 41 years to get it passed. It all started back in the early 1800s when slavery was legal in about half the country and women's rights weren't really the main focus. Free black women started the first all female anti slavery groups, and the idea spread quickly. Some groups welcomed both black and white women. The amendment was first introduced by Senator Aaron A. Sargent of California in 1878. He felt very strongly that women should have the right to vote. The proposal remained stuck in a Senate committee before it was voted on in 1887. It was rejected by a 16 to 34 vote. Before this, some states early on allowed some women to vote, especially wealthy ones. In most places, though, women weren't allowed to take place in politics. They weren't supposed to make speeches either. In the 1830s, some women challenged these ideas. Who were some of these women? Sarah and Angelina Grimke were sisters from a slave-holding family. They started talking to small groups of women about the evils of slavery. By the 1840s, the Grimke sisters were speaking to larger crowds and inspired more women to speak up too. Take Susan B. Anthony. She gave speeches against slavery and later for the women's vote. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton formed the National Women's Suffrage Association in 1869. They thought that the 15th Amendment, which gave black men the right to vote, should also include women. Elizabeth Cady Stanton played a very important role in gaining the right to vote. The Seneca Falls Convention was the first women's rights convention in the U.S. It was organized by Stanton and Lucretia Mott. This was held in Seneca Falls, New York, and attracted about 300 people. Sojourner Truth gave her speech, Ain't I a Woman? She had escaped from slavery before becoming a leader in the fight to end it. When the Civil War ended for good, women's activists thought it was time that women got to vote too. They soon realized that this wouldn't be possible. Finally, in the summer of 1920, the law passed that women could vote. President Woodrow Wilson urged Congress to pass the law. By March of 1920, 35 states had ratified the amendment. When Tennessee voted, the results were a tie. Harry Burn later said that he changed his vote to a yes because his mother had told him to. There's not only Anthony, Stanton, Truth, and Mott we can thank. There are still many other people we may not have heard of. Thank you for listening to my presentation.